Yeah. 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 Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing
Check,
1, 2, 3.
check. Okay. Yeah, I think we're both here now.
Check, check.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're both here now. Check. Okay. Yeah, I think we're both here now. Did you hear that echo? How quick that is? That's the delay now, guys. We got the delay down now so close to real time that we're going to be able to interact with you a lot quicker. So sorry about the technical difficulties. Let's start from the top. John, how are you?
Hello. Thank you for welcoming me again. And Shane, I love your hat. It's so cool.
Oh, thank you. It's my third eye hat. I actually created this. You can pick one up on the on my store, online store.
That's amazing.
And
you can always look to the sky, right? You can
right.
always.
I'm always looking up. That's right. Okay, I just wanted to go in here first, and I had an announcement from the Arcturians. They wanted to
congratulate you on your Guinness Book of World Records, straight from our star family.
There we go.
Wow, you did it.
I did it. I remember.
You remember this time. Oh, wow. Those Arcturians sound awesome.
How funny is that? So, yeah, you guys, Jon Binnie just broke a Guinness Book of World Records with 110 digital album releases. Is that the category? But you're actually, by the time you got the notice, you were at 1, 2, 3, 123. So you've already beat your record.
That's right. Yeah, thank you so much.
So
since I was a kid, I always wanted a world record. When I was growing up I don't know what it was like in the US, but in the UK, we had this TV show when I was a kid, and it was called Record Breakers. And so we'd watch it like every week. And most of it wasn't totally insane, but it was like just people trying to try their best to break world records on the show. And I remember thinking like, I wonder if I'll ever do anything like that one day. It would be so amazing. And in the theme tune that they sang, they said the words at the beginning of the show. I can't remember all of it, but it spoke a lot about dedication is what you need, was one of the lines. And that's definitely me, as being like this. It's like a hero's journey, right? Where you just start. I started in 2017 just writing songs at weekends. In 2019 started writing every day. And what on reflection on this mission to raise the vibrations of billions of hearts, what I didn't realize was I was developing this skill, which is like just connecting into infinite creativity, right? So I love that you can't. I'm not aware yet of world records where you can claim to be an infinite creator, but I feel like it's part of our future, right? Where you can say, yes, it's the now, it's this moment right now that I can create right now. I could pick up my guitar and just create you a song. And it's really funny how the Guinness Book of World Records is all about the past, right? It's all about the things I did before. Right. But it's just been it's been a real journey getting the world record as well. I didn't quite realize how hard it would be to go through the process. They wanted like everything. They wanted like every single song, its length, its title, a link to it on all the different streaming platforms. And they wanted two different they wanted two different music industry like adjudicators to sign it off. And I don't really know people in the music industry. I was like, I don't know. So that also took some time to find. But yeah, it was fantastic to go through it. And I don't know like if I'll how up to date I'll keep it, because if I release an album every couple of weeks, then it would just be hideous to do every 2 weeks. But maybe like once a year or something, I'll keep things up to date. But yeah, like my guides keep telling me about it's the now. It's like it's not the legacy of that record. Is a recognition of, I guess, the tenacity of just like every day creating, and just loving it, like living your dream. For me, it represents living my dream. For it's about an hour per song, and there's about 13 songs per album. So that if you do the maths, which I can't, it would be that's that many hours in the last 5 years that I've been living my dream. And so that for me is the reward I get, is like just acknowledging that that I was stepping out of my comfort zone, even though it's become part of my comfort zone as well at times,
Right.
and just tapping into that infinite creativity. And if I could share a lesson with anyone, including myself, would be that point about just truly acknowledging that we're all infinite creators.
That is awesome. Yeah, when I saw that on Instagram, I'm like, "What? No way!" I remember we talked about it. I think even on the show we talked about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I just man to see it actually come true, it was a surreal moment. You know what I mean?
it is super surreal. And I had like my journey. And sometimes I forget my journey, right? Which is I had like almost 15 years of writer's block. And I just forget that now, because it's like for me it was like pre-awakening. It was like the old John, but like the old John is also here, right? It's like he would have been like 15 years ago if you'd said, "Did you know?" Or it's 20, I guess, when you do the maths. If like that time, that version of me, if you said, "Did you know that you got writer's block today?" But in 20 years' time, you'll have won a world record for the number of albums that you've digitally released. And I'd be like, really?
Right.
And for 15 years, I just told myself, um, no song was good enough. They all sounded the same, and that I should, like why bother? And I'm so glad that I did bother, and I really don't care if they're the same or not. And I just have
Huge.
fun
Yeah,
creating them.
huge accomplishment. Very proud of you, Gypsy JJ. Doing this again? How good can it get? Woohoo! That's right. Thank you, Gypsy JJ. Yeah, we're actually going to be taking live requests today, right, John?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, I'd love to.
All right, let's explain to people what they can ask for from you, and then that way they'll know what to type in the chat. And if you can do it in all caps, you guys, that would help me with my older eyes and to see.
You're sending guys. Yeah. So what do I offer? And yeah, I think this is a really good point for people that are putting in requests to have a think about the intention of what you'd like me to help you with, because that helps me. Because if I just go in kind of generically, it might take me a bit longer, and I might also not find the thing that you really want an answer for or help with. But yeah, to explain my my abilities, and also you see my services on my website. So in my head, I'm like thinking of my booking page where I can see like all the list of things. Um, and the most common is an energy clearing and healing, and that includes setting up a safe space, connecting in with your guides, and then like working through each of your chakras. And as we go, I can see your chakra and your energy, and either explain to you what needs healing, or give you messages that will help you, and like tools and techniques to help you on your journey, and also bring in healing energy. And if there's any negative or unwanted energies or entities there, I can remove them for you with your permission. I also can help people connect with their spirit guides. So it seems really common that lots of people think they can't speak to them yet. So I can help bring you together, especially connect you with one of your guides, and help you on that journey about how you can continue to grow that connection with them. I also help people with their highest timeline. That was today's song as well. Today's song and meditation. And in those sessions, I help people really step into briefly experience their highest timeline, and then like we create a connection from that point in the present future into the present now, and so that you can see that journey between the version of you now and the version of you in the future. And then also probably something I don't do as much of on these live sessions is soul retrievals, where I'll go to often lower realms and retrieve parts of people's soul fragments, and some of the more complex attachments or demonic attachments or attacks. I can help people there as well. Again, some of these aren't super safe to do on live streams and take a lot more time, but all the earlier stuff, if you want energy clearing, connecting with your guides, your higher timeline, yeah, just let me know how I can help.
Perfect. I love that, Jon. Thank you. And for you guys that might be watching later, or maybe you would rather have a private session, I do have Jon's down in the description, Jon's email, or I'm sorry, website, jonbinnie.com, and also his YouTube channel. So you can go subscribe. You can he's actually got videos on there. You can see and kind of know what to expect, or you can just watch today because we're going to be doing them live. So I appreciate that, Jon.
Thank you.
Let's see. All right. So if you want any kind of clearing or anything, type it in the chat. In the meantime, do you have so maybe doing the with the world record once a year or whatever? Do you have any other anything else in the mix like that? Sort of I don't know, like
I know it's
bucket
quite funny.
list
I was
things
thinking
because
that.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what
like,
I mean?
oh, what will I do next? Yeah, it did start to occur to me I should do something more physical. I'm not sure what it is yet. I feel like an exploration. We have just sold our motorhome RV and have a new camper van now, which is smaller and can go further, and has and I've just today like been starting to set up the studio in it, and I'm like, there's almost no space. You try and explain to your partner that they can have like less bedding and more guitar is like a really difficult conversation, right? I think it might be me having no bedding and like just covering my guitar at night. But yeah, that's definitely one aspect that we're going to be doing more of is more traveling. And yeah, like I should do a bit of research. Um, I love the challenge of different world records, but the process, I don't know. It's like, do I need a brewery to tell me that I'm amazing or not? Like it comes from inside, right? But I love that idea, like a bucket list and just choosing the right thing to focus on next.
I just
It's
kind of look at
a
it
work
like
in progress.
I kind of look at it like going to a monument and putting, John was here or something. It's kind of your way of just leaving your mark.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
right.
mean? I mean that in itself is cool enough. You know what I mean? I mean
Yeah,
that's how music is. It's not about getting to the end of the song. It's about enjoying it and connecting and feeling the vibrations and on so many levels.
yeah.
Speaking of which, we have Gypsy JJ and Renee Garcia, who are both coming to the CE5 event. Do you think you're going to be able to make this one in New Mexico, Jon? I mean, you didn't think so before, and you ended up right there at ECETI with us. So, do you think this is something on the radar?
Oh wow, when is it?
It's going to be July 21st through the 23rd, and it's going to be in New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to put it in my calendar and figure out how I can make it happen.
Yeah, that's right. Just put those positive intentions out there, and we'll be jamming out there in New Mexico.
It'll be so cool.
So let's see. We have Gypsy JJ here with one. Renee, it's so good to see you. And I'm so excited to see both you and Gypsy JJ, as well as a number of other people. Rita is going to be there, and
Wow.
of course Sandy and Carrie. You can watch the video that we put out on I think Friday, and
Okay, cool.
it kind of discusses things, the dates and where and all that good stuff. But we'd love to have you there at this one. It wouldn't be the same without you. You know what I mean? So.
So cool.
Then we're going to have other musicians. Gypsy JJ is one. So she has a question. I would love to have a higher timeline knowledge, please. And thank you. Thank you, Gypsy JJ.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you. And hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Gypsy JJ. And we'll take just a few minutes longer with the first one as I set up a safe space.
No problem.
And so we'll begin this by taking in 3 deep breaths in through the nose, nice and deep into the stomach. Hold and breathe out through the mouth, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out what no longer serves us. And breathe in through the nose. And breathe out the stress of the year. Continue to breathe deeply and calmly. And from the center of our hearts, see the divine spark in each of us. And from it, extend a light cord up through the top of our heads, up through the sky and through the stars, going higher and higher through the dimensions, going higher and higher until we reach the highest dimension of the source of this universe. And there, connecting our light cords. Remain connected into source and extend our light cords down to the stars and to the sky, back down to the top of our heads and into our hearts once more. And from the center of our hearts now, extend our light cords this time down through the roots of our spine, all the way down to the ground, going deeper and deeper through the layers of the planet, down further and further until we reach the very core of Mother Earth. And there, connecting our light cords into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend our light cords back up through the layers of the planet, through roots of our spine and into our hearts once more. And now, around each of us individually, we create our own protective bubbles of golden light. And we do this by extending the light from the center of our hearts, fueled by the infinite power and love of Source. And connected into Gaia, we expand out our golden bubbles around us about 2 meters out from the center of our hearts in a sphere. And we set the intention for these golden bubbles that only energies and entities with our permission, with our highest good and our love and our compassion can see us or access us or exist within our bubbles or within us, that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. And into our golden bubbles, we invite in every aspect of ourselves, past, present, parallel, and future. We invite in our higher selves, our guides, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, for guidance, clearing, healing, and protection. And now, through space and time, I create a golden bubble for the safety and intention of this session, for everyone watching in the live stream and watching in the replay. And we set the intention for this golden bubble that only energies and entities with our permission and with our highest good love and compassion can exist within this space, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. I invite in our guides, our higher selves, Source and Gaia, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. Just allowing their energies now to come into the space. There are many, and some of each of our guides know each other. I'm just hearing, it's a small universe. Thank you. And I'd like to set the intention to assist Gypsy JJ for her to come forwards to see her light and her guide to step forwards with me. Set the intention to help Gypsy JJ with her highest timeline to understand what exists for her. And I'm being shown this mountain. It's very much if Gypsy JJ saw the meditation and song I created today, it also showed the analogy of this mountain of our highest timeline. And there is a physical aspect to this mountain that you will visit. There is a connection with this event that Shane speaks of at New Mexico. And just as we were setting up the protection at the beginning, the gray aliens step forwards to just to show, one of them step forward to show themselves. And there is a communication that is growing and reconnecting between Gypsy JJ and the Greys. This Grey that she's communicating with in the future aspect of herself is quite unique. She has like a blue skin to her, and she is a hybrid of several galactic races. She identifies as a Grey. And she's on this journey. She's on this journey to help the future timelines of us. And she has a lot of work to do with Gypsy JJ. And there is a connection with her music and her frequencies and her vibration. And there's like this graduation coming up for Gypsy JJ, where she will be creating music, and she will be looking towards the mountains and seeing at first at the very top of the mountain like lights and energies, orbs. There's not one specific location that this needs to happen in. It's not restricted to one place. And there's a connection between her and this blue gray. I'm just asking her name. I'm hearing Altaria. It's like a shortened version. She pronounced it like very elongated, but Altaria. And it means, her name means the shifting of frequencies. And it is the shifting of frequencies that Gypsy JJ is assisting with. And this shift of frequency is not just about stepping up, it's also about transforming and transmuting frequencies. And she's just pointing to me in my heart and saying, Jon, you focus on your thing, which is raising vibrations, and Gypsy JJ focuses on hers and her ability to be able to create beautiful music and frequencies, but it's beyond notes and tones. It is also energy, and there is communication, and there is healing, and there is great sharing of wisdom. And in Gypsy JJ's future present moment, this is happening. It's happening now. It's happening now with her music now. And it's that journey. And the journey will take her to the top of a mountain physically, as well as in her highest timeline. And I'm just being paused there. It's like, okay, we don't want to spoil too much. But that's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. I hope that that resonates, Gypsy JJ.
And I like the idea of that because she's in southern Oklahoma where, you know, there aren't the same types of mountains. At least there's like more like hills and stuff like that. But I want to say she said she was overlooking one of our mountains because I was surprised that we had one down there. So that's interesting. But we're also going to be in New Mexico next to a mountain there. Actually the biggest
Wow.
one in New Mexico. So I'm glad I
That's
get
so
to be
cool.
by her side. So I get to see the
Yeah.
lights with her. That's
You'll be
awesome.
filming it. It's like, look at that. It's incredible. Um, yeah, and I'd just like to also say thank you so much for. I can't even remember how long I've known Gypsy JJ, but just thank you for all your love and support over the many, many years of present moments. And yeah, so excited for your future as well. Thank you.
Very awesome. Yeah, you can actually watch the video from Friday, Renee, and we go into more details about the dates and places and what's going on. And it's still developing. So I haven't sent out the email yet, but I will probably send it out in the next day or two. I was waiting to hear back from a few people to see if they want to be added to the list before I start sending them around. But look for that email, you guys, real soon. So, and yes, thank you, Gypsy JJ, for also being there for me as well. I really appreciate it. I mean, that's really why we're here for all of you guys. So, let's see. That was beautiful. Okay, while we wait for another question or for someone's request, you went out locally there where you live a while back looking at, was it orbs or something with your kid or something? You went exploring a place, or was that near where you live?
Yeah, there was well, I don't know. I feel like I've been on adventures all the time. It's like almost every day there's something, and maybe that's just also part of where we
Well,
live.
what
But yeah,
popped in your head right away to
my
share?
the first yeah the first thing that came in was I've been doing a lot of work with ancestral healing, and
Like with the land and
the
stuff?
um primarily with like we'd call them witch wounds. Like um there's a lot of history where I live, in the town where I live, the village that's right next to us is about a mile away, where I also happen to go running every morning in the dark, and also the neighboring towns, and very sadly over the last couple hundred years, there've been a lot of like witch hunts, like the the hunting and and killing of people like us, right?
Hmm.
Um, and in the village that I live near, there's something called the Witch's Stone. So we're on the east coast of Scotland, about 30 miles away from the capital, Edinburgh, and the Witch's Stone, which is just in the middle of a country road, marks the place of where there was a big tree, and that's where a lot of um, the people were hung.
Oh, wow.
um, and it just I feel like it's taking so much energy and so much work and so much healing, and a lot of it's me. Like I remember at least three lifetimes in this area, of being one of those people, and being and at times on either side of it, and the healing that I was doing. So you may have seen like a video where um, I was doing like a ritual to like really to forgive and release and thank those beautiful souls. There was a lot like of souls that were still just stuck around the place. And what was really beautiful at because the Witch's Stone has the names of the people that are the ancestors of the people that live there in the village now. It's still very fresh,
Wow.
and the all around the stone they have these beautiful little it's almost like children or like artists have made them. They're little plaques, and each one has like the name of a herb, and then we'll say what its healing property is. And it's like this celebration of natural healing, and it's such a beautiful loving protest to what happened, and such a loving reflection on the work that these people did. um and so yeah, I did both a session there, and there's still more to do. I will be back again. um I managed to like help a lot of the souls. Like there must have been at least 30 or 40, like after I'd done the ceremony, and I walked, it was quite late at night, and I walked away like down the road. there was a procession of them following me. Like I was just like, this is
Wow.
incredible. I've never been surrounded by so many souls. And then I was also aware that there's still some, how do you describe it? Some wounding of both the land and some of the souls there. And it's like I don't want to cause like a duality here, right? It's not dark and light. It's more that some of the souls that passed over in such rage and anger that they made the conscious choice to, to stick around in that location in darkness, and others chose to stay around in light and everything in between. And so there's still some more of the darkness to clear there. And I also did I think I've done this. I did this since our last session. Was I did my first in-person group session in Edinburgh.
Oh wow!
And I was like, it's like real people. Like,
yeah. How did that go?
Like, it was incredible. It was a beautiful small group. We hadn't met each other. I was working with a dear friend, Natasha, who I used to work with in computing about 20 years ago, and neither of us knew anything about this world that we now exist in, and which we still find super funny. And we connected a couple of times and said we're both in Edinburgh, like we should do it. We don't really know what it'd be about, but she specializes in the Akashic records. And so when we came together, I kept saying, look, I'm doing all this past life witch wound healing. Let's get together and see how we can help others, because it's also in the area, we'd be bringing people together from the area and really celebrating their ancestry also, and helping heal. And yeah, it was a really, really powerful session. It was about 2 hours. We did about an hour to an hour and a half of the kind of group part of it, which was going to our Akashic records, finding these past lives that needed the most healing, and we shared each other's experiences as we did it. And then after, we did some energy healing and clearing, and then went on to the we went around each member of the group. And I think it's the first time I've done dragon light language to someone face to face. And I had to warn them, as I'm going to make some strange growling noises, and it's going to say some funny words, like speak in tongues at you. And I remember she just said to me, dragons, I love dragons. All psychics say I have a dragon energy. And it's like, yes, we've got this. And it just, it was super powerful. I really, really loved it. And we'll definitely do another lightly in either the end of May, early June. We'll do another one, and they were available. It was like a hybrid session, both online and in person. And I was really curious. Natasha had done that kind of hybrid approach before, and I was like, how does that even work? And she said, well, you just get it's so funny. You just get a laptop and you sit it on the chair, with everyone else in a circle, and we would just turn and talk to the laptop, and turn the laptop around to talk to people. And I was like, that's insanely cool. It's so simple.
It's like a person sitting there, an eye and an ear right there. Yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome. Let's see, we do have one that actually, your story though reminded me of when I first heard Ra Castalda on the Leak Project, and he's from a family line of witches, right? Good witches, positive, doing positive work or whatever, but a lot of them were killed and stuff in the past, from a lot of religious groups. So they were actually scared of Christians. So you say Christian to them?
Yeah.
And they're scared. I was like, oh, you know what? That was one of the reasons why I decided to drop labels, because you realize labels carry so much baggage with it that you might not want to be associated with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I kind of got to the point where I'm like, you know what? As soon as you kind of label yourself, people are going to automatically kind of put a list of things on you that are probably not fitting for what you're trying to represent, so.
Yeah.
So Jesus is still a role model for me, but I don't call myself a Christian, you know what I mean? But Jesus is still my dude.
Yeah, he is amazing. I must admit, I had a real fear of not before my awakening, but just it increased after my awakening was this. It's because when I was a kid, I'd been to church a few times, and I in fact, for a while, I'm sure I considered myself Christian.
Mhm.
But after my awakening, I was like, I had this really strange, like, um, almost like, like magnets like push each other apart. I could describe it like that. Like I couldn't understand. It's like I don't feel scared of Christians, and I
Right.
don't feel worried about it. But why? So what is it? Why? What is it with the label of that religion? And it took me on this journey. In part, some of the journey I was just talking about, but also when my friend Natasha gave me an Akashic Records like past life regression session, we found two lifetimes, and one was quite similar to this, where at this lifetime where I was like meditate every morning and I'd receive messages, and then I'd write scripture, and so I was like a priest, and I was a Christian priest, and I got really really annoyed with everyone that constantly just ignored me. And I was like, this is the word of God. Like, what's your problem, guys? And they're like, no, no, it's just something you wrote down. Like, who are you again? Um, and and at that lifetime, I think well, I know it ended quite badly. And I came back in another lifetime in a like a blind rage and a hugely destructive lifetime. And like I also feel like it did take quite some time to pay off that karma, but it was really beautiful to then go through. It felt like just 2 or 3 months in this lifetime is like it's okay for people to have religions. Like if I I consider like everything I do to be open to everyone, no matter what they label themselves as.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right, I know labels aren't like super helpful, but there are also some positives to religion, and uh, there's just free will, and I think that's really beautiful that everyone gets to decide, how they pray, what their God's like it's and that whatever free will choices they make form the collective reality, right? They actually become uh, the reality that we all experience together, and I'd never want to hold that back from anyone, even if they gave themselves some absolutely horrible crazy name for their religion. It's like
Right.
it's okay. It's all true.
Absolutely. Let's see. You guys are scrolling my text on me here. Okay, this one is from Sharon Champion. Let's see. John, I would like to know if you see any blockages to my third eye. And thank you, Sharon, for the question.
So that was from Sharon, did you say?
Yep, Sharon.
Thank you. And just as you were saying it, and before you said third eye, I was like staring at your eye on your hat. It was so cool. Maybe it's because you look down to read as well.
Right.
Um, fantastic. So let me just connect in with Sharon's energy. And I'm just asking one of her guides to step forwards also. So the immediate sense I have is like you're surrounded with there's like this kind of swirling um energies. There's like at least two or three, and they are so that these are like three dark entities, and they're swirling around. They're like swirling around your head, and they're not able to attach to you. And your guide is doing this. Your guide's like just constantly pointing at these energies, like sort this out, just sort it out. So I'm not gonna like go and ask lots of questions. I'm just gonna just clear this out just now. So I'm bringing down a column of lights from the highest dimension of source above to set the intention to clear, to heal. Coming down now, just down to your crown chakra, sending in some healing energy. It's good. I'm just seeing lots of reflection now coming back. It's like golden light reflecting back from your crown chakra, coming down to the third eye chakra. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to light up your your third eye chakra to be like a lighthouse, and you're going to very clearly see these entities around you. And I'm bringing forward my light sword and an energy shield, and I'm just bringing these entities now into a golden bubble of light, trapping them in this. They're not attached to you. They do not have your permission. And I'm just shrinking this ball down. Archangel Michael, please return to source or never return here again. Thank you. Has returned those entities to source. And there's, I feel in your third eye chakra, there's still like this spinning. I know I've seen, if you've ever seen these videos of when people are being sometimes robbers will do this, like if they're trying to rob you in the streets, like rob a drunk person, they'll like walk around you like loads and loads of times because it makes you feel dizzy. And that's what these entities were doing. They were just like there's this constant spinning, and it was causing your third eye to just to close. It's like I can't go on this roller coaster. I'm closing my eye. And so I'm just bringing in energy to settle this now. And I'm going to just connect down through your chakras, down through your roots, and then down into the core of Mother Earth, just to ground you. And now through your root chakra and through your legs and your feet, connecting you into Mother Earth, growing those energetic roots down deep to the ground. And then bringing that energy back up from Gaia below, from her core, back up into your body, to the third eye. And I'm just going to see now so your guide is showing me that, like when we first wake in the morning and our eyes are a bit blurry and it takes a little bit of time to focus, you're going to experience that. It's not going to be immediate that you can see. I feel like it's been a long time since you've been able to see like this, and that the world's changed a lot. As Shane will vouch, right? It's like things are changing all the time and the veil's getting thinner and thinner. And so if you have had your third eye shut for maybe the last 10 years, it might be quite surprising to reopen it again now, because you'll see a lot more. And so just really holding space for those magical experiences and encouraging you to, as you're opening your eye over the next few days, just to encourage you to speak out loud when you see something. Tell it you see it. Just say, I see you, and listen to your heart about whether, like how light or dark or in between you feel that energy is. And what, if there's anything you don't like, tell it to leave. You are the master of your domain, of your energy, and you can tell anything that you don't want in your energy to leave. Just leaving that healing and that protection in place for you for as long as you wish. Thank you, Sharon.
And Sharon says, thank you so much. That's awesome. And thank you, Junosphere. Junosphere says hello.
Hello, Genosphere.
Okay, we have, let's see, Junosphere wants to know any messages for me today from spirit, guides, ascended masters, etc. Thank you so much. Thank you for the question, Junosphere.
Just asking your energy step forwards, and also one of your guides. So first I was showing you, and you're like cute, like in human form, but also like an avian, as a humanoid avian, and light blue in color. And then your guide was showing me just standing there, almost like something out of a movie or a computer game, and was just showing from your feet. Your guide was showing that these rainbow colors begin to flow up through the legs and then up through the body until the whole body was just full of color. And that was the first thing when Shane said, "Any messages?" And it was like, color. It's all about the color. Um, and so there's so many dimensions and levels and frequencies to this aspect of this transformation that you're beginning to go through now. And it's all of the keys to unlock each of the stages in your development are connected in with the colors. And so we're we're encouraging you at this time to connect with, like, to explore, have this playful exploration of color. And it's going to help you connect into, like, what you'll do is you'll choose a color to work with, perhaps for a day or for a week, and like theme your creativity around it. So it could be writing, singing, dancing, drawing, painting. It could be anything that you want to do, and encourage you to try lots of different things. And even the things that you think you're terrible at, like, try them again, like, try them now. And what will happen is, as you're playing with them, set the intention to seek out the part of you that that color represents. So which of your chakras is it? Are you working through that playful exploration of? And then how, like, that feeling of how does that then connect into that chakra and allow each chakra to individually go through this, just like your guide was showing me, go through this rainbow activation. And for you, like, it's quite an astounding gift to be able to go through this, like, rainbow light body um activation so rapidly. And you've practiced this before in a few lifetimes, and so what you're doing is you're just relearning in this lifetime how you've done it before. And so that's why the exploration is so important, because it'll bring back this ancient wisdom that you've had. I'm seeing, like, 3 or 4 times you've done this, and some souls are seeking to do this, thousands and thousands of incarnations in, and still haven't achieved it. And you're like, yeah, I've done it before, and that's why I came to Earth, and I'm doing it again here. So that's really beautiful. And also to just encourage you to connect with birds also. There's their frequencies and their colors, especially like the colorful birds and like parrots. And I'm terrible with names, but I feel like birds of colors will really help you connect as well with their frequencies. So I hope that helps.
I was just saying here, I wanted so badly to tell you, but I didn't want to interrupt. Um, because Gino says, I just finished a 2-hour color class this morning. And to follow that up, I work with colors all the time through my artwork. So, I mean, you
Oh, I love
totally
that.
pick it up on that. That's so amazing. Just left a 2-hour color class. Well, you
Wow.
got rainbows all over you, let me tell you. You energetically made a mess of yourself with the colors.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's so cool. Wow, thank you for sharing that, Shakespeare. That's amazing.
Let's see. Oh my God, I just filled up my bird bath this morning. You're on top
Wow.
of it, John. Wow, you have to
That
laugh. And
that's so funny.
the magic. Have you been noticing like an increase of these incredible, just this incredible magic and the synchronicity? I mean, it's like ramping up way more than I could have imagined. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it's phenomenal. I was also reflecting on when we're doing Sharon's third eye blockage removal, that even the magic, like, when one thing that really astounds me in when I'm doing like readings like this or clearings like this, is that the guides are often inviting me to see what someone else sees. And it's a really funny experience because um when I see through someone else's third eye, first of all, the similarities are astounding. It's like they're like, they're seeing the same, like, usually they're seeing at least the same like shadows, and they'll be like staring at something in the street and they'll be like, you're not a lamppost, are you? You're like, what's that standing in front of the lamppost that I can't see with these two eyes? And then they'll kind of stop and stare and look and talk to it and ask it what it is, even if it's just for a split second. And I'm like, yeah, I totally resonate with that. And then others are, seeing those kind of earlier stages, and then also just like, yeah, but I also want to like fast forward through space and time, and just
Right.
go zoom, like something out of a sci-fi movie, and I'm like, that is so cool. Like I want to do that in waking time as well, and yeah, like I feel like in other words, the reflection of the magic around us outside of us is all the reflection of the inside of us, right? Like all these abilities and everything that's coming online for us, those feelings, because it's like I was trying to describe with words is, when you watch a movie, you can't really, it's really hard to tell what the director's thinking. Like, what do
Right.
they like? Are they worried that we're not going to see that person in the corner of the screen?
Right.
Especially in today's movies, we're all like, they're like everything's spelled out so clearly for us, and there's some magic, but it tends to be, the subtlety kind of is lost. Whereas in real life, you're like, um, sometimes a bit scared of the subtlety, and sometimes I'm really excited by it, and everything in between. And yeah, there's that anticipation. I just feel like this excitement, just like I feel right now, just continuing to rise. And yeah, the magic is incredible, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been such an exciting journey. And not only that, but I'll have people share their story with me, and it will totally intertwine with what I got going on too. And then after I hang up with them, I'll see all these synchronicities that they were telling me they saw in their story, right? So it could be a cardinal, and then I see a cardinal right after that. I'm like, and it's just like you can really tell we have this higher spiritual star family that's just almost toying with us at times. It feels like.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I feel like I feel that the one of the big challenges of the veil thinning is that, not only is it hard to hide, right? If you've got some like negative feelings, um, it's really hard to hide them. But I feel like the other thing that we're doing as way showers for everybody, and for each other, is also the reflection aspect of it. So it's not just that you have to, you can no longer hide the darkness in you. You now have to show it and share it, and like give it a big, hug,
Send it on its
and say, yeah,
way.
that's part of me too. And then you also need to deal with the reflection of it on the outside of you. How your fear, how your worry, your anxiety, your lack, your like, your hate, your rage, whatever it is, those lower vibration feelings, like they become much more visible to you. um and I feel that all the time. Like if I'm just in a bad mood, like it's like I woke up in a different reality. um and and I feel like every time I focus on like those higher vibrations and the higher energies, things shift dramatically. um and like one you'll love this as a Mandela effect for me. So this is like, to me, this you could physically explain it, but it kind of also just doesn't make sense to me. So you remember I mentioned that I run Monday to Friday every morning, and I've been, no matter how many houses I've moved through, I've been roughly the same run for about 15 years. And every single day I turn around. So I run about 2.5 miles just into the dark, into the country roads here in Scotland. And there's a tree that I stop at, and I turn around and I come back. What happened last Friday was the tree had gone after like 15 years. And it's like, it wasn't super big. Like it was about the size of maybe a doorway, and it was dead. It was a dead tree. So it's like, you know, that it happens, that trees get removed, but it's just farmland. It's like it's on the side of a road where there's lots of other dead trees, and And now, in exactly the same place where that tree was, is a new tree, like totally alive, and it's much taller in exactly the same place. And I'm just like, when I saw it, I was freaking out. And it happened the same day that I heard about my Guinness Book of Records uh, achievement. And I was like, did I just shift? Did I
Right. That
just
sounds like
like
it.
how I feel like it was such a powerful statement of, because even my son, I've been running with him for about 6 months there, and I said, "Remember the tree? Like, tell me I'm not the only person that like saw this tree for 15 years, Monday to Friday, every day." And it's like, yeah, the dead tree that kind of goes like that, and he's like doing the shape of it, and I said, it's gone, like and there's a new tree there now, in the exact same place. Um, so yeah, I felt like that was a really beautiful sign. I'll definitely be looking out for more of those.
That is wild. I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, I've noticed little things like that, like signs that seem new, but then they look old. Or even the other day, there was like these blockage, those bars that come out in front of the park and block it off. And I went in one
Mm,
side and I'm like, do you remember them having those blockage? Because I didn't even realize that the park actually started at that point. It was only seeing those bars that can swing out and lock, like if they want to lock the park down. But they were like rusty, right?
yeah.
You could tell they weren't new. They didn't just put them in. And then we got to the other side. I'm like, look, there's some over here. I'm like, what are the chances of me just noticing both sides of this, like sticking out? Because I used to drive over there every weekend to do the flea markets and stuff. So this is an area I'm
Mm.
really familiar with. So if they put them in, it would have had to have been new, but I could tell they'd been there forever.
They put in old ones and made them look really
Right.
old magically, yeah, which is way more effort.
They use rust paint. That is
Yeah, the
really
same
cool.
happens. Just there's a recycling place we go to where we every week we drive along and take our like cardboard and our plastic and stuff. And as my wife and I were pulling out of it. Actually, this was also on Friday. When we came out of um the main roads, we came onto it and stopped at these traffic lights. And like, there's a new crossing, and I was looking at this crossing, and we're like, when did that appear? And because we're in a small town, there's like very few crossings. It's the busiest road in the town, so like everyone's outraged, so selfishly when like something safety wise comes in, like a speed limit or new traffic lights, and there's only like two or three other sets of traffic lights in the town. So this thing was there, and we're looking at it like, when did that appear? It doesn't make any sense, and why is it here? And there's like a nursery, like a creche for kids opposite, and we're like, well, that kind of makes sense. But then we're staring at it, and it looks quite old. It looks like it's
Right.
been here maybe a year or two. I'm like, no, how would you not notice it? But yeah, it like
That
I
is a
love that.
trip.
Just I always feel like it's whenever you see something like this to like celebrate it, right? Don't just think like, oh, middle-aged and forgetful, or oh, I've got ascension symptoms and I really don't remember any reality anymore. Like it's really cool to just get excited about it and celebrate. To go, yeah, it's like magic. Is
Yeah.
exactly like that.
And what a perfect example of how, you'll totally disregard or blow something off if you don't think it's even possible, right? So there was so long that, we lived our whole life. We could have seen something impossible, but we would have blew it off like, oh man, what a horrible memory, right? It really wasn't until the Mandela effect and having some very real examples of reality shifting in a seemingly impossible way that I'm like, well, evidently things aren't as permanent as they seem. You know what I mean? And evidently time works differently because when we're observing things in the past, we're only observing them right now, not from the past. So things can surely change in the now moment at any given point. So it's pretty wild to see it actually happening. And I think just knowing it can happen allows you to see it happening even more, Like you probably would have just kept running the other. Oh, we're not at that tree
Yeah,
yet, huh? There you go,
yeah.
3 miles
I
later,
can
you're
never
like,
stop.
where's the tree? I must have passed it. And then you would
Yeah.
have probably set an appointment with your doctor after you saw it really wasn't there. Like, oh man, I need to get into the doc. So
I
yeah.
love that. And I love as a family we also love watching like family movies, and we often watch them from the 80s and 90s. And we were watching Night at the Museum, and what really what also surprised me about it is that, like, when I watch these old movies, and I just say to my kids, I just say, hey, let's play like, spot the Mandela effect in the movie. We haven't seen this for years, right? So we must remember something, or misremember something. And
Right.
and and it's funny, nothing was particularly out of the ordinary. And then I realized that I'd run past the museum before, and it's like, how did I not know but that was it when I was visiting, and I was like, but I'm sure I told people that I'd run past it. Like there was this kind of funny looking. Is it a church? I'm not really sure. But I can't remember from seeing it from the outside or if it's actually a museum. But I I was telling my kids, and like, what do you mean you saw the Night Museum and you didn't notice that was it? That it was the Night Museum? And I was like, yeah, I know.
That
Like
is a
how
trip.
how can I have these two completely separate memories and never join the two together?
Right.
And I've freely discussed them both with people. I love that. I didn't expect the Mandela effects to be outside of the movie.
Right, exactly. But universe has a way of surprising us, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, you guys, if you can tap in write in caps any kind of requests you want from John while we're chatting here. Let me scroll back and make sure I'm not missing anybody. If I missed you, holler out, you guys, because I could have. Wait a minute, let's see. Oh, here we go. I didn't notice this one. Sorry, Journey Through the Gate Paranormal. Okay. Is it possible to get anything on the male spirit following me? Does he need help or is he trying to help me? See if you can pick up on what this male energy with Journey Through the Gate Paranormal Portal podcast.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I must admit, I'm going to struggle with such a long name, so I'm just going to call you Journey, if
Yeah,
that's
that's
okay.
perfect.
um, okay, I'm just connecting in with your energy now. And yeah, I'm aware of this male energy behind you. It's just asking one of your guides as well, just to help explain a bit further. Okay. So this energy that's following you is it's an aspect of you. It's a past life of you. It's a past life of you that's come into its future, like into this now, and trying to reconnect. And it's bringing through like this message. It's like I feel like it's almost like running a race. Like it's always trying to keep up with you and trying to. The hardest thing for it is to get up to your vibration so that the message can come through clearly. I'm just asking, is it possible to share the message, or how will you receive the message? So this male past life version of you is holding this, there's a gift, it's holding in its hand, and it's it's you. So you want to give yourself back something that you lost in this previous life, and you want to bring it back into your heart. And at the moment there's I see like there's a dotted line between you. There's like it's a energetic fragmented cord between you. And I want to be really careful because um, you, under no circumstances, should you ever say to some other entity that you want to receive something from it unless you know what it is for sure, like what the entity is or its intention. And so the way that you can do this safely is for you to ask every version of you through space and time to return all of the gifts and all of the power that you have ever given away and return from you back to you. So you recall this in. So you do not need to ask. So this is just in case. What if I'm wrong? What if this is not part of you? And this way you will be able to overcome any risk of receiving something from another entity that you don't trust or know. And what I'm going to do is just assist your heart for a moment and set the intention for you journey. When the time is right for you, you should say these words out loud. You place your hand on your heart, take 3 deep breaths. And as you do this, just see like the tree of life in your mind's eye, and see that the tree of life, every leaf is a lifetime of you. And I want you to see yourself down at the base of the trunk, right at the ground of your tree. And I want you to hold the tree, your tree of life, and place your heart against the trunk of the tree and just say out loud, I recall all my gifts, all my power that I ever gave away or ever lost. I recall it into this lifetime, into this present moment. And just allow every aspect of you to return to you. And if I'm right, then this entity that's been following you will disappear. Else, there's more work to do to find out. But at very least, you'll have recalled all the power that you gave away. And your guide is saying, um, this does feel right to them also, and that there's a message that comes with that gift, and it's like wrapped up in the gift, and it's a message for you to receive privately. And so, yeah, I'd encourage you to practice that 3 deep breaths and seeing your tree of life and embracing it and bringing back all those aspects of you through every lifetime. And it's not just your past lives; it's your past, parallel, future, all of them, the now, all into this moment, into this version of you. I hope this helps.
It's very beautiful, John. Thank you for that. Sharon says, John, your energy is amazing. Every clearing that I have had with you has been amazing. Thank you for that, Sharon.
Oh, thank you so much.
And Frosty's here. Hey, Helen, how are you?
Hello.
Okay. We're going to move on to Esther G. Thank you for this, Esther. I would love any blockages removed and healing. Thank you. Thank you, Esther.
Just asking Esther's energy to step forward. I'm being shown you as like a multi-dimensional being, and I'm being shown you sat on a ship, on a spaceship. It's a ship that's connected with the Galactic Federation. It's not always been part of the Federation, but your ship is now most of the time. So there's a part of you, there's your higher self, the highest aspect of you is there. It's there right now, and it's part of your future and as part of your presence. And although it feels far away when we sit here and watch a live stream on YouTube, yet at the same time, it's a part of you that is growing in connection with this present version of you. And yes, and just like you're asking me, Esther, to help, is the highest aspect of you is also saying, like, keep releasing everything that no longer serves you. it'll strengthen this connection with this highest aspect of you and help you connect in more with your purpose, your mission, why you're here. And the highest aspect of you keeps telling me again and again, I am you, I am you, I am you. There's no separation. It just becomes easier, like when we're running towards a train and we're trying to carry all our old baggage and we like can't keep up. Like I can't get on board if I'm carrying all this luggage. And so it's encouraging to just let it go. Just release it, just let it go. Where we're going, we don't need luggage. And to assist with the clearing, I bring down a column of light from the highest dimension of source above, down to above Estes, crown chakra. And I'm just scanning through quickly through each of the chakras. And there's like this, there is a density, and there's quite a few blockages in here throughout your chakras and through your body. And so to do this, and if you're listening with headphones, apologies if this is about to sound quite loud, but I'll bring in some dragon fire energy where I generally growl and make a lot of noise. And as I do this, this is to burn out any of that negative energies and blockages that no longer serve your highest purpose. And we'll see if there's anything left. So I'll just bring in this fire now. Sienta. Yatiki Amatua Reyama. Yeah. And just draining away anything that no longer serves you. Bring it out through the root chakra. There's quite a lot of energy. Just passing this now to Archangel Michael. Please return to source or never return here again. Thank you. There's a lot you've been storing here, and it no longer serves your highest good. You've like been looking after these, some of this energy comes from you, some of it's from your wounds, and some of it's from attachments. And it's just like this horrible kind of murky mess blended together. And you've almost like used it like a comfort blanket. Like you've said to yourself, you know, it's almost like like your toys or like your babies. Like I want to hang on to this, and it's like it's just time to let that go. It no longer serves you, and you've done more than enough of carrying that burden. And I'm just sensing that you feel like there's a bit of emptiness now, almost like your light body. I see like your chakras and then the light coming through, and it feels like there's that and your skeleton and your human form. And what I'd like to do is just fill now every aspect of you with the source of love of this universe, and to know that you're never alone. You don't need to hang on to this baggage. That you can now freely feel at one with every living thing, with me, with Shane, with the whole world, with the whole universe. We're all here together in our hearts in this unity. And so I'm bringing in this love now. May Esther feel this love energy of source and the unity and oneness of all. Sending this into your heart chakra from mine to yours. And I'm just going to add a thin layer of golden light around your entire human form and your light body and every aspect of you. And I set the intention for this light to protect you and to assist you with your integration and healing over the coming days. You get plenty of rest and drink plenty of water. And to know that your work at this time, being here on this planet, and the experience that you have been through over many years, and this experience just now is all so helpful and so vital to every living thing on this planet. We all need to let go of our baggage, of our luggage, to release what no longer serves us and allow us to step into the highest versions of ourselves. And remember, the highest version of you is you. Thank you, Esther.
Esther says, I just felt very warm all over my body, and I have been feeling it. It's very good. Yeah, and I want to encourage you guys, when you do feel that energy, to breathe it in, take a deep breath, and just let it resonate throughout your body. That healing and that harmonizing energy, that clearing energy, moving away blockages and stuff. Esther says, beautiful. Thank you so much, John. That was beautiful.
Thank you. So powerful and so galactic. I love the. I feel like your journey resonates with so many of us, and it was really beautifully articulated to me. So thank you for sharing that experience.
Gypsy JJ says, holy, I just barely come down from the heights Buddha Jon Binnie showed me, and then he is so genuinely and lovingly helps and gives another one of us some of the marvelous magical moments, and I'm gone further or higher. Sorry. Ran out of space there. But yeah, that's sweet. Thank you, Gypsy JJ.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys. If there's any other ones, let us know here. But I'm kind of excited to move on to the music. Are you ready to do that, John?
Oh yes, yes. There's that thing I do as well. Yeah, let's do some music.
Yeah, Journey says, in many past lives, I was a soldier, a true warrior. Now I'm a warrior for the light. It has been a struggle. Now my hands heal instead of warring. Breaking the circle. Very beautiful, Journey. Thank you for sharing that.
Wow. I love that.
And also, Journey said, so spot on. I'm all over it, sweetie. Thank you kindly. Thank you for that feedback, Journey. I really appreciate it. Great confirmations. Yeah, let's do some music. I don't think we're missing anybody there. If I missed you, just type it or paste it in there again, you guys. Sorry about that.
I'm just going to
yeah, switch mics.
To switch over. Yeah, I have to just go and turn off my mixing desk so that when I plug in my guitar, it doesn't freak everyone out with crazy loud sounds. Okay, let's do this.
We all saw Back to the Future. We know what it's like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my song's like the opposite of Back to the Future, right? When Michael J. Fox is like playing at the end, it's like the opposite, where I've never heard this song before and I'm literally about to play it. So let's see what happens. I'll just put on my echo.
It's sort of breaking up just a little bit, John.
Is it not working?
Yeah, it's almost like the noise reduction's cutting in and out just a little bit. If you could just add just a little bit of volume to it, I think it'll break through and stay through. Yeah, I wanted to catch you before you got too far into it. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Let me try again. There is a setting on Zoom that may help. Give me a sec. Okay. Can you hear my guitar okay?
Yeah, it's not very loud. Can you play some of the higher notes? Yeah, I think it's coming through good now. I'll let you know right away if something's off, but it sounds good now. I'm going to mute in case it's muting because of my sound coming through to you.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, you never know with Zoom, but we'll give it a go. And release all my fear, my pain, my shame. I let go of what no longer serves me. I'm letting go so I can breathe, and I'm feeling this fire, and I'm feeling this love, and I'm healing these lives, and I'm rising above. And help me rise with every dawn I rise, and every day is more magical. And these sparkles are my love are here to stay. And I'm healing, I'm feeling, and I'm letting this drop away as I connect my root of my heart down to every past, parallel, and presence and future of me. It's time to let this go. It's time to step into my destiny. Arise, arise with every new dawn. I'm sparkling again, and it's all so beautiful. Can you see it, feel it, taste it, hear it? It's this magic. It's this magic in us all. In us all. Rise with every new dawn.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Junosphere
was super
says,
fun.
John singing is giving me full body chills. Thank you for that, Junosphere. Esther D says, same here, Junosphere.
Oh, that's so kind.
Gypsy J says, That's groovy cool, Genosphere. Love it. Oh my God. Shane, thanks for hosting Jon Binnie. It's always my pleasure to have John here, bringing in the love and the light. OMG, says Gypsy JJ. Says that was beautiful.
That's really kind. Thank you.
And I love the magic theme because that's been a huge theme for me this last week. You know, had some amazing synchronicities happen with music and art, and I'll be talking about some of that too. But it's been so magical, and I really encourage people to realize just how easily it is to get distracted from things. You know, and it's like we talk about, you know, the idea of sort of being a prisoner or something, but really it's our attention that's captivated, right? It's like trying to get grandma off the TV, you know, like grandma, you know, and she's just like glued to the television, like, you know. So it's like yeah, if you take that moment to leave your prison of distraction, because that's really the only prison is, we can turn away and move our attention to something else whenever we're ready to do that. And there's a lot of magic to focus on right now, so I want to encourage everybody to do that. Don't miss out on the magic. And you'll still see and experience the spillover, the synchronicities and stuff. But the more you pay attention to that, or even I challenge you to try to prove it wrong. Try to prove the synchronicity wrong, because that's how I went about it. And all I did was see more and more and more. I was like, oh, it's more crazy to deny it at this point.
I love that, Shane. Yeah, the like a really common question I get is, are you like, am I worried that I'm going to run out of songs, or am I worried that I'm going to like sing exactly the same song someday? And my immediate like reaction to it is, I just feel like I'm not worried that I'm going to feel the same emotions ever again in exactly the same way, or that I'm going to run out of emotions. And they are so much of what I sing about is the feeling. And it's really funny when you say, if you say to someone, are you worried about tomorrow and running out of emotions, that you might just have to only have today's emotions. And I love that it's this infinite creativity in each of us that is both the thing that creates the magic, and is also the magic itself. It's like you can't explain it right, but it just feels incredible and feels so so mysterious and so filled of like childhood exploration and playfulness, that there's just a spark in everything and within everyone. And yeah, definitely encourage everyone, no matter how many times someone says to you that's silly or don't do that, like, they're the things you should be doing. If someone tells you not to do it, it's probably, well, you know, within certain reason, be nice to other people, but at the same time, follow what feels right.
How often is it our own left brain up there in their head, though? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're going to look like an idiot. You know, you're going to look stupid, blah, blah, blah. You know, don't do that. They're going to think you're flaky, you know, all that stuff, you know?
Right.
But that's so for me, it was never the other voice. It was the voice in my head that was hardest to overcome, you know?
Oh, me too.
And to try to just move from the heart before the left brain starts tearing down whatever it is that you get intuitively, you know? So yeah, definitely trust your heart, you guys. And that desire that comes from within, it'll always lead you where you need to go. Let me check the chat really fast before we wrap this up. Shane, thanks for hosting. Jon Binnie, Genosphere says, okay, it looks like we got everything. All right, we're going to do this again next month, guys. I don't even know if we have a date yet, but just...
Yeah, we should do it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Perfect, you guys. So lots of love, light, and unity, you guys. And get your questions ready. If you miss this and you're watching it later, stay tuned. We'll have another one of these in the middle of May, around the same time. In the teens in May, we'll come up with a date here in just a moment or whatever. But we'll let you guys know, and you can check back in with us and enjoy the music in the meantime. Make sure you check out Jon Binnie's website. It's linked below, as well as his YouTube channel. He's all over the place. And check him out if you're on Instagram and some of the other social media, he's at Jon Binnie, just his name. So look for him on there, and you can connect to him on whatever platform you're looking to. So.
Thank you, Shane. And thank you, everyone. It's just an amazing experience as always, and every time just even more magical. I can't wait till next time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you.